Russia's Putin announces 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine from May 8, wants Kyiv to follow suit. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday declared a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine from May 8 to 10. He called on Kyiv to do the same, said the Kremlin. The Kremlin said the surprise 7-hour ceasefire, which will run from the start of May 8 to the end of May 10, will coincide with Moscow's World War II Victory Day commemorations on May 9. Based on humanitarian considerations, the Russian side is declaring a truce during the 80th anniversary of Victory Day, it said, adding all hostilities will be stopped during that period. Russia believes that the Ukrainian side should follow this example. In the event of violations of the truce by the Ukrainian side, the Russian armed forces will give an adequate and effective response. The announcement came after U.S. President Donald Trump urged Putin to stop shooting and sign a deal to end the 3-year conflict, which the White House is seeking to end through diplomatic means. The United States has been trying to broker a lasting ceasefire between Moscow and Kyiv but has failed to extract any major concessions from the Kremlin, despite repeated negotiations between his administration and Russian officials. The Kremlin had announced a similar 3-hour truce during Easter, but while both sides reported a dip in fighting, they accused each other of hundreds of violations. Last month, Putin had rejected a U.S. proposal for a full and unconditional 3-day ceasefire that had been accepted by Ukraine. Kyiv and its European backers accused Putin of announcing the Easter truce as a PR exercise and said he had little desire for peace. Since launching its Ukraine offensive in February 2022, Russia has seized large parts of 4 Ukrainian regions and claimed them as its own, in addition to Crimea, which it annexed in 2014. Earlier in the day, Russia said it was ready to negotiate directly with Ukraine but that recognition of its claims over 5 Ukrainian regions, including Crimea, were imperative to resolving the conflict. Ukraine has denounced the annexations as an illegal land grab and says it will never recognize them, while European officials have warned that accepting Moscow's demands set a dangerous precedent that could lead to future Russian aggression. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said in an interview with Brazilian newspaper O Globo published Monday that we remain open to negotiations. But the ball is not in our court. So far, Kyiv has not demonstrated its ability to negotiate, he said, adding Moscow's position on the conflict was well known. International recognition of Russia's ownership of Crimea, Sevastopol, the Donetsk People's Republic, the Lugansk People's Republic, the Kherson and Zaporizhzhia regions is imperative, he said, using the Kremlin's names for the Ukrainian regions. Last week, Zelensky said Ukraine will not legally recognize any temporarily occupied territories, and has previously called the demilitarization demand incomprehensible. Putin's order of a ceasefire comes at the beginning of what the U.S. indicated will be a crucial week for the chances of a ceasefire that could determine how long Washington keeps trying to broker a deal. After a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at Pope Francis' funeral on April 26, Trump questioned whether the Russian leader was serious about peace. There was no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas, cities and towns, over the last few days. It makes me think that maybe he doesn't want to stop the war, he's just tapping me along, he had said on Truth Social. Russian missiles have killed dozens of civilians over the past month in large-scale strikes on Zelensky's home city of Kryvyi Rih, the northeastern city of Sumy and the capital Kyiv. Trump, who boasted before his inauguration he could halt Russia's assault on Ukraine within 24 hours, launched a diplomatic offensive to stop the fighting after taking office in January. But the White House has voiced frustration with both sides, as the conflict that has devastated swathes of eastern Ukraine and killed tens of thousands of people drags on. Russia and Ukraine have not held direct talks on the fighting since the start of Moscow's offensive in 2022. Earlier, a Russian attack on a Ukrainian village near the frontline city of Pokrovsk killed a married couple and another local resident. Russia, over the weekend, announced it had taken full control of its Kursk region with the help of North Korean troops, more than 8 months after Kyiv launched a cross-border ground assault. Swipe left for next video. Putin thanked North Korean leader Kim Jong-un for help with the operation, which has denied Kyiv a key bargaining chip in future talks with Moscow. The Russian army said it has taken control of the village of Kamyanka in the northeastern Kharkiv region, in its latest battlefield advance. With AFP Input's latest blogs.